Good evening, everybody. Hopefully you are with us, you can hear us and you can see us as we take part this evening in our very exciting Jamie Rogers Crafts Sneaky Peek. We have so many brand new goodies to introduce you to and to, I suppose, in a sense, tease you with, because if they don't quite come out yet, they'll be launching exclusively on Hobbymaker this Friday at 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. So tonight is all about whetting the appetite for what's to come and showing you a couple of demos, hopefully, if we get a chance, lots and lots of inspiration and answering your questions, along with a few other bits as we go through this evening. Now, as always, if you are joining us, could you please let us know that you can hear us and you can see us? We say this every time we go live, but it's always with fear when we hit the go live button that we're actually just talking to ourselves, or maybe you can see us and we're just waffling and you can't hear us. So if you are with us, please do let us know that you can hear us and you can see us, because that is always nice to know that we are going out live and clear. Now this evening I am not alone. I do of course have a hostage in my hostage corner. It would be rude not to have said hostage in hostage corner. So shall we say good evening to our poor captive over there on the left? Good evening, Peter.
Good evening, Jackanory here.
Jackanory in the corner.
Good evening and ready for your bedtime story. I don't know how Jackanory goes. I should have watched that, shouldn't I?
Never watched Jackanory.
No.
Was it a person or was it a character or was it? I don't know what that is.
I think it was something like, "What's the story, Jackanory?" And they.
I know that bit, but who is Jackanory? Is this like the guy who plays with the puppets? Is it one of them kind of situations? No.
This is going to get down the road.
This is not what we're meant to be chatting about at all, is it? Who was the guy who City and Sweep? That guy. I've lost you now, haven't I? He's gone. He's gone. He stops listening to me after a couple of minutes. He's decided I talk nothing but dribble and that's it. He just goes off on a tangent and leaves me to it. City and Sweep guy, is it that kind of situation?
I really don't know.
We need to Google this. Maybe somebody will tell us in the comments.
Will know.
Okay, let's go back to where we should be. Let's say hello to a few people, shall we? So, good evening, Sharon, Bethan, Kathleen, Michelle. Good evening, Alison, Portia. Adrian's Hobbies are with us. Good evening, Adrian's Hobbies. You, of course, are one of our amazing stockists. Thank you for joining us this evening. Good evening, Alison. Good evening, Carol, Emma. That's our cheeky Emma. She's a cheeky one, isn't she, our dear Emma?
She is.
Good evening, Yvonne, Kim, Laura. She's a cheeky one too, and she's on holiday this week, causing mischief somewhere in the country. Good evening, Pat. Good evening, Sue. Oh, there's loads of you here this evening. Thank you so much for joining us. Genuinely, we never take it for granted that you give up your evenings to come and be part of our silliness. Tonight, as I say, is going to be a good night because we've got lots and lots of stuff to introduce you to. And genuinely, it sounds really silly, but I hadn't realised until I started bringing the bits together to bring them in tonight, just how much we've designed that actually really coordinates. So you're going to be able to bring back bits right the way from some of our very first dies, right the way through to literally brand new and not even released yet. And you know we love to do that because it means that you're going to get more value for money out of things you've possibly already got, or maybe not only are you going to be introduced to a brand new collection, but you're going to find things that you might not have known that we've done that you're also going to fall in love with as well. So loads to get through this evening. So I'm going to try not to waffle too much. We're going to get through the important bits and then we're going to get on with it, okay? That's the promise. So first of all, our homework winner for this week. Our homework winner is going to be for this week. So the competition that ended at 5 p.m. today is going to be Sheila Kelly. So huge congratulations, Sheila. Thank you all for taking part for this week's #Rainbow Mission. It's been a joy to see what you've been creating. Sheila, if you can, please, can you send us your address in an email to jamierogerscrafts@hotmail.com and we'll have your prize popped in the post and sent out to you. If you have no idea what I'm waffling on about, we do a homework challenge every single week over on our Creative Expressions group. The group itself is called Creative Expressions Official Group. It's a free, easy to join group. It's just like an ordinary Facebook group and you can share with us everything that you've been creating with our products. You can also ask us questions. You can get inspired by like-minded people. And of course, our incredible DT that I've got loads of samples to share tonight that they've been creating. So you're going to see just how impressive our DT are if you haven't already stumbled across their work. They're all in the group group, all sharing their inspiration with you as well. So it's a great place to be. But every Monday we kick off the day by introducing a new competition. Actually, we don't kick off the day at all, do we? Because they're up there already and you can see them for weeks in advance. But we start a new homework mission every Monday at 5 p.m. So one ends and one begins. So today we have a new mission. I'll tell you more about that later on this evening. But it's your chance to join in and hopefully be challenged slightly outside your comfort zone, or maybe just get to kind of show us what you've been up to if it fits into your homework challenge. But either way, if you use the relevant hashtag to that week's competition, you'll be entered into the prize to win a £40 Creative Expressions goodie bag, which is always a joy to receive. And of course that includes worldwide shipping as well, so you can enter wherever you may be in the world. Tell you more about the next week's one later on. But before then, shall we move on and have a little look at what's new maybe? I've got a whole list of things to tell you about tonight. Honestly, it's not going to go very well, is it? 'Cause I can't even remember what I'm meant to be telling you or where it is. Have we got any questions or any bits that we need to know about yet, Peter? Lots of people who are joining us, I can see, which is absolutely lovely. Thank you very much again for being with us this evening. So where do we start tonight? What should we tell you about first of all? Let's tell you about our brand new paper, shall we? Because this is a little bit of luxury. You're going to love this. And even if the next parts of what we go into and start talking about, you think, and you know what, this happens and that's absolutely fine. You might think that collection's not for me. I don't like the look of that. I'll be surprised if you do, but you might. But even if you do, don't miss this. I have a feeling, and I'm going to be honest with you here, we have to wait a very long time for this to arrive here with us. And I have a feeling that this is going to fly out the door at Hobby Maker and with our stockists. And before you know it, we're going to be telling you that it's gone. And we're waiting months, and I do literally mean months, for more of it to come back in. And when I talk about months, we don't use this term too frivolously. We're very, very brutally truthful here as a company. If we can tell you that we can have it reordered and restocked and back in a week, we'll tell you that. Sometimes if it's the UK, we can do that. When we go further afield, things take a lot more time to reach us. So if you think back to when did we launch Crushed Velvet, the last paper we bought out under the Jamie Rogers Crafts brand, what month was that? 3 months ago?
About June time, wasn't it, I think?
So June, July, August, September, October. We're still in October, aren't we? So 5 months, roughly, give or take, depending on where we fell in the month. So let's go with 4 months just to make sure that we're not over exaggerating. 4 months ago that come out, that sold out. We're still waiting for that to come back into stock. We'd already reordered it. 4 months later, we're still waiting for that to land. It is due back in soon, but if this one goes out, we're looking November, December, January, February. Think about this logically. We're going to be closed for Christmas. So we're looking end of February, maybe March before this will return. But I don't tell you any of this to scare you. I just tell you this in honesty because that's what we like to do. We like to tell you the truth. If something's going to disappear and it's going to take a while to come back, it's good that you know that that's what we're looking at. So here I have the first 3 colours. There are more. I'll show you those in just a second. But we're going to start off with Calico, Sage and Charcoal. Now, I don't know if you can see this already. So I've got a sheet out and this is our brand new red, which I've hidden the list of colour names already. I knew I'd lose it. Where have I lost that to? This must be Crimson. Correct. What are you chuckling at over there?
You're a nightmare.
I am a nightmare. It gives me all these post-its. Now I have endless post-its. I can never find nothing. So I'm going to bring this up for you so you can see it. And we're going to let the camera get in close on that. Now that it's not a printed illusion. This is not a flat paper. That is the texture we're talking about. Now, I know you don't want to hear me scrape away at paper, but it's got that. Pete's already sticking his fingers in his ears. That's not a good start to the evening, is it? It's usually the end of the night he does that with me. This is beautifully textured, luxurious paper. Both sides have got a beautiful texture to them. It is such a luxury paper. Everybody who has seen this and come across this has fallen in love with it. And I don't use that term lightly either. Genuinely, the feedback we've had from it has been ridiculous and it is absolutely gorgeous. Now, not only do we have it in Calico, Sage and Charcoal, we also have the Crimson. We then have the, I'm going to just go off on a tangent here and say that one's the Ivory. We also have the Tree Bark, I'm guessing. And we have, I've got to add Sage. Which one's this one going to be then? It's a, woodland grey, I reckon. Woodland grey. So there are your 7 colours. Correct, 7 colours. Now, one of the bits I love with this, and I know I'm spending longer on this than I was meant to be, but I love this. I could rant and rave about this all night long. So you've got your 7 colours, but of course, because we're talking textured, we're talking the ability to go in and colour. So let me just find an ink pad just quickly. Let's bring in our Squirrel Red. So we're going to use our Squirrel Red Quick Dry Pigment ink pad. And you can stop at any stage. So if you want to keep this quite light, you could keep this quite light. Actually, let's go heavy on one side and light on the other. So you can see what I mean. So we're going to go heavy over this side, really down and onto this. And it kind of gives me the same weavy look, that linen-y look that my sofa's got, Pete. Isn't it? Which is beautiful. Not the sofa. Didn't like the sofa. Keep trying to convince Pete we should change the sofa. Different story.
Let's not go there.
No, I know. We only had it 5 minutes. I keep trying to convince him that we should never have ordered a blue sofa.
We won't go on to the colour of the wall.
Oh, the wall. The wall that's changed more colours than we've had
wall last night.
Dolly's wall, because it just keeps changing colour. That was what I
colours.
said to him last night. We've got like a feature wall in the front room.
We sound
And
posh.
No, it's not posh, honestly. Nothing we do is posh. We've got this feature wall in the front room. And when it went up, I painted it. What did we paint it to begin with?
Grey?
Was it? No, it wasn't. It's never been grey. Grey would be nice. Is it cream?
Grey?
Then it went navy blue. Now it's gone light blue. Then yesterday I said to him, I think we should paint it white. I'm desperately trying to go for like this New England vibe. You know, when you see like on Netflix all these lovely, like, it's always murders because that's all we ever watch at our house, but like a like murder mystery thing set in like this New England house on the waterfront in New York, or where New England's above New York, isn't it, I think. But anyway, New England. I love that vibe. Or Grace and Frankie, if anyone's ever watched Grace and Frankie. That kind of vibe. I can't get it right. I keep trying with our front room and it just doesn't get there. So hence the walls keep being repainted and the furnishings keep being changed. Now, I deliberately went heavy onto the left and lighter on the right, just so you can see what I mean about you stopping where you want to go with your inks. Now, of course, we're sticking to an ink pad here, but this could be metallic inks, this could be waxes, this could be all manner of different things. We can, of course, die cut it, we can emboss it, we could do all sorts with this if we would like to. You're going to see lots of examples dotted throughout the release this evening. Price and pack size, I know you're going to want to know. There are 10 sheets per packet and the recommended retail price per pack is $4.99. So there are 7 different colourways available, of course covering a whole host of different styles and times throughout the year. So if you've not seen that, which you won't have seen, 'cause it's brand new today, brand new sneak in, that might be something that you want to add onto your shopping list. Maybe.
And Kim also asked what GSM it is, please.
Did I not mention that? I'm sorry, thanks Kim. 130 GSM.
Yeah, and we've got Hobby Maker watching us live.
No,
tonight.
we haven't.
We have, so you've got to get
Don't
it right.
watch us. We know nothing.
Switch off quick.
Don't. Honestly. So here's one of our cards I wanted to share with you, created with that. Now this, of course, has just been used in the background. It's also been used through the layers. So we're using 3 different colours throughout our project here, just to give you a little look at that. I'm going to try and lift this up so you can see the texture on the ivory. Isn't that lovely? And I know it's something we often take for granted, isn't it, when we talk about papers and cardstocks and that. We know that we're going to dress them up. We know that we're going to build up on top of them. We're going to be introducing you to these dies in a moment and these stamps. But actually they're a real important element because they really do set the tone for what we're going to be doing. This is one that Ian's created. Now this I thought was really beautiful because it shows what you could actually do with your offcuts. He's just taken a piece of mirror card and then he's added strips on top of it to actually make that up into a present. Added a bow and a couple of different die cut embellishment pieces, and you've really created a very luxurious look. Though that, okay, is aiming for Christmas, but of course, depending on the colours and the different decorations we add to it, could have been any kind of occasion throughout the year, which is really lovely. So you've had sneakies. You've had sneakies on this already, but I wanted to share you the papers with you. If you haven't guessed from your sneakies we are adding, and this is what I said earlier about in our post, we are going to be adding to lots of collections this evening. This is something that's always quite dear to my heart, is that we add and create more to sort of flow through and work with things that we've already done previously. So many of you may know, and I'm going to introduce you to the original collection before I take you on to the new parts to go with this one. Many of you may remember that we have created our tile collection. Now you just see the Joy tile sneaking on that panel, but the tile collection started off with our nested die set. If you've already got this in your stash, there isn't a new version. It's going to be back to this one that you're going to need. So if you haven't got this already, you're going to need this if you go for the rest of the collection. It's going to all work together with this one set. We're not trying to make you buy something new to do the same job. Stick with the one you've already got. This is JRCD 0042. It will be available on the shows on Hobby Maker on Friday because it's a vital component to the collection. Now this cuts out all of your different layers. Now several of these layers coordinate with the stamps we're going to be introducing you to. Now when we launched this collection, the original collection, we bought out 3 stamps, and you might already have these. If not, they might be ones you want to add later down the line. But this is our butterfly florals, our happy birthday, and our ornate patterns. Now whether you choose to stamp on these die cuts or leave them plain, it's completely up to you. Here is just one of the ways in which those die cuts work. So here's the board actually showing you them all cut out. When these ones cut, they're going to deboss a little line, and I don't know how well you're going to see that, but there's going to be a little deboss line running around the inside of each of the shapes just to give you like a more elegant finish. Now this is what we mean about tiles. This collection all tessellates. That means that you can join it together and make it up into lovely backgrounds, just like you would if you was tiling your bathroom or your kitchen. That's kind of where the idea come from, in honesty, because I love that ability to be able to take something and build it bigger, build it into whatever size you want it to be, build it into all different patterns and directions and sizes. So whether we're going for 12 by 12s to of course be our scrapbook pages, whether we're going right the way down to the dinky sizes and we're thinking for our card folds, we could literally do that and then fold that to be our card, and that could be our literal card blank if that's what we'd like to do with them. And then of course all of these stamps, we can bring these in, and each set, and we're going to take these out for a sec, each set you're going to find that at least a couple of them are going to coordinate to go over the top of those pieces. So I tend to stamp then die cut, but it's up to you what way around you do it, but you can see that these are going to go on there. You can even use the smaller ones and have a nice white border running around them. Now of course I'm showing you the original collection at this stage. Today we are introducing you to our brand new festive collection that's all going to work together. But nice for you to see the pieces that also make up the original collection and that are going to work together. Now when we did the original collection, we also did 3 stencils. These are our 8x8 stencils, and there is small, medium and large. These again you can stamp into the openings of the stencils. You could use them to place your die cut elements into if you wish to. You can just blend them to coordinate between your items. We also did a pack of ornate tile stencils where you get the positives and the negatives. And these again, if you've got these are going to work brilliantly with the new collection as well. And the idea with these ones, if we can dig into this, is that you receive the positive and the negative to each piece, and you can then bring these in and place them over the top of your stamped images to go in and colour them. So if you want to bring in a blending brush and go over the top of that, you absolutely can do. Now of course you don't have to have all of these elements. We've not got all of these elements available on the Hobby Maker shows because we only have a couple of hours and it would take a long time for us to go through all of these pieces. But it's nice to see us building this collection further forward. The last thing that I wanted to introduce you from this collection, the original collection, is our elegant butterfly oval. Now today we're going to introduce you to a brand new Christmas version of this one. When we get on to looking at that, I'll show you why it's important that we've bought a new version that's going to work perfectly with the original version. Now the original version will be available on Hobby Maker on Friday, and I've been told that there's a bit of a special price on this. So if you haven't got this one already, do keep an eye out on Hobby Maker on Friday. There are limited stocks of them, but oh my goodness, is this beautiful. If you've not seen it before, you might just fall in love with this. In this set, you have your butterfly oval. You have the choice to use the insert panel. You also have the choice to use the lattice panel. So you can cut it out as an opening and put your stamped images behind it. You can leave it as a solid by leaving that part out and stamp on top of it. You can use the lattice panel and cut into it. The lattice panel, of course, on its own can be left in place if you prefer. You can use the lattice panel with the outside edge, and you can create your very own cutout panel that can then be built up. Around the edge of it, you also have a fluted edge oval, which is a different size to our original fluted edge ovals. So you've got another size to work with, but it also work with those if you wish to. You can, of course, use that as a solid, or you can use it around the outside edge of this panel. Now, the panel itself, that outside edge is not attached, so you could leave that and cut that into your card if you would like to. On top of that, you've got corners. So you've got matching butterfly corners. These, again, are separate dies to cut your filigree panel, so they can stay in the card, or you can use the outside edges to cut them out and come away so that you've got them as freestanding items. Now that's just one set, giving you all of those items and options. There's actually 12 dies in here. So when we talk about versatility with a die set, this one's slightly, as you can see, off the charts. Now I've introduced you to the original set that is, of course, available. Let's take you and show you through the new additions, because we are literally building forward with this set. We are building up, we are adding to it. So let's start off with the stamp, shall we? Because I think it'll be nice for you to see how the new images that you're going to be able to work with. So here is our first stamp set, which I've just realised I haven't bought the stamps in, Pete. Honestly, I need to be sacked. I've not bought the stamps, I've just bought the boards. Could we have the stamps, please?
I think you just want to hear my squeaky door.
We do want to see your squeaky door. Come on, let's get running, Annika. See what you can find. So this set, as you can see, you have got different sizes. Now the different sizes are important because they're going to match to the different sets of nesting dies. They're also going to give you that ability to be able to stamp and add them onto those different backgrounds if that's what you choose to do with them. And of course, some of them are going to fit under that big oval that's coming up in the Christmas oval in a second. Now, just to give you a few glimpses at cards, and I'm going to try and remember to call out who's made them. This one's done by Lynn. Lynn's used some of these elements with that nesting die set. She's also used the Sue Wilson die set that, again, was only available just a little while ago. That's just launched, isn't it? It's still available. But those lovely pierced squares. So bringing collections together, again, something we love to do here is making sure that everything's going to work together. This one, I think it's done by Ian. Yeah, Ian's done this one and created this lovely hanging bauble effect. And this is actually the stage I'm going to go off on a bit of a tangent and tell you the truth. When we did this collection, the original collection, like, I don't even know when this came out, like a year ago, maybe, year and a half. The one thing I wanted to do with it was keep making Christmas baubles. And I can remember telling you all at the time, next year we'll do a Christmas version because I want to make baubles. I love making Christmas tree decorations. It's genuinely one of the things I've always enjoyed doing. When I used to teach classes, we used to make sure that we did at least 1 or 2 baubles a year because it's just something I really enjoy doing, is kind of taking our paper crafting and taking it off into home decor and decorations, making themed Christmas trees where everything kind of works together, whether that's colour, style, design, whatever it may be. And it's always been something that I'm really passionate about. So I really wanted to make baubles with this collection. I haven't made a single bauble. I've got so carried away making the cards, I've made no baubles at all. I've got one to give you the idea of the concept that our lovely Sharon on the DT has created. And this just shows you kind of the concept of how you could use the plain nesting dies and decorate onto them. But I need to fit in making some proper shaped ones with the stamps because that's where the beauty is going to be. And I've got 2 days till the show. So you'll have to tune in on Friday to see if I manage to fit in making some because I'd like to make a couple if I get a chance. But it's nice to see the bauble aspect on the cards too. So we'll go back to this one. This, of course, is one Ian's done, where he's created the illusion of the hanging bauble on card front. Another one done by Ian, and he's bringing in these beautiful poinsettia corners. You're going to get to see them. They're going to come up with that beautiful oval we keep talking about. Be here in a moment. He's used the nesting dies and actually sunk that down to then shadow around his beautiful stamped image. One I've done here where I've taken the smaller elements, and it isn't just this stamp set, although you are going to receive 3 of these in this stamp set, but from all of the stamp sets I'm going to be introducing you to, and I've just placed them zigging zagging across the card and then infilled with glitter. Now, of course, you can use all of these if you want to, just to make up one card. It could be one panel, one style, one size, and I'll show you one of those examples shortly, actually. but it's a nice way to be able to use them and build up that tessellated look if that's what you'd prefer. Another one here focusing in on the big stamp with a Happy Christmas on and layering that up on the next size up with the nesting dies. Again, creating that illusion of a bauble on a card front. Isn't that pretty? This one's done by Lynn. Okay, moving forward. And that set, by the way, that is the poinsettia set. So that's the actual set when you're coming to order it. Of course, don't forget launching exclusively on Hobby Maker on Friday at 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. Then moving forward to our next stamp set. Now, all of the stamp sets, by the way, the recommended retail price for these is $11.99. Now, the next one, this one's gorgeous. This is our Winter Scenes stamp set. So here we've got that cosy fireplace image. We've, of course, got the deer outside the lodge. Now, you might remember we bought you a die of a lodge and a deer and some trees. This is kind of keeping in theming with that set. And this is what I love being able to do, is bringing you similar items in stamps and dies for you to be able to build up bigger scenes. You might wish to stamp this and cut it out and then place those trees behind it and maybe another little log cabin on the front of it and build that collection, because it is all designed to work together. There might be different releases, there might be different concepts, but it will all work. It's all designed that it's going to match together as much as it physically possibly can. Now on this one, you've also got Merry and Bright. Home for Christmas coming down the side here as well. Merry Christmas, all dotted throughout this one. Now again, these are going to come together beautifully if you wish to use them as different elements to do your tessellating styles with, and you don't have to stamp all of them if you don't wish to. That scene, this is gorgeous. I think this one's Diane. Oh no, it's Lynn, this one. Beautiful one done by Lynn, and you're going to be introduced to this poinsettia shortly. And you can also see how Lynn's brought forward the stencil from the original release and used it in the background to kind of coordinate in with her set here. This one's done by Ian. So Ian's used some of our papers from the Rodney collection, Rodney and Family, that come out a little while ago. So again, everything coordinating and working throughout. He's then added some beautiful gems going around the larger frame, all cut with a nesting set. Then we move on to Diane's. Now this is beautiful, and this background panel, we're going to introduce you to that shortly. If you're looking at that and thinking, well, the DL collection didn't have Christmas ones in it, you're right, it didn't. Today we're going to introduce you to some new ones. Again, building onto another collection. Another one done here by Diane, and again, Diane's gone back to those papers that come out with Rodney's Family. She's used that as the background. She's brought in our brilliant snow sprinkles that come out from Creative Expressions on the Woodware show. And this again, I kind of pointing these bits out because it's nice that you see how everything works together. It might be under different brands, it might come out at different times, but it will all coordinate together. We've then got our poinsettias running across the top there and our ferns put behind them. The poinsettia is our new poinsettia. Another one done here by Diane, and again, Diane's chose to use in the background here one of our stencils. You're also possibly spotting this brand new Happy Christmas stamp running through these layers. Again, another collection we're going to be adding new additions to this evening. And she's gone for them beautiful papers as well. So the papers have been used to cut the flowers out, and of course throughout the layers as well. And doesn't that give a really luxurious vintage feel to this project? So moving forward from our winter scenes, we have our third stamp set in this brand new release. And this one's really cool. I like all of them, but I think this one's possibly gonna, for me, pip the others to the post. And I suppose it's because it's got lots of sentiments in it. This one is the Tile Collection Sentiments. This time we've got Just For You, With Love, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Enjoy. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Season's greetings and Happy Christmas, as well as a little bauble as well. It's just it's the fonts and the styles I love. I love the cheeky little gingerbread man as well. And I also really like the snowflakes that are added into these parts up here. This gives me labels. This gives me like posh wine bottle, posh whiskey bottle kind of vibes. And I really like that style. Again, if we're going to be doing baubles and we're going to stick them back to back to back to back to back, and we want to bring in different pieces, again, this could be quite nice because that could be the other one to fit in between the sections. So if you think about when we go back to the baubles, you might choose to have the same image on all three sides, but actually giving you different images, we could put them and set them free around in different styles. So you could have 4 sections. Sharon's gone for 3 sections, but you could have 4. You could have Merry Christmas on both sides and then the scene on the other 2, for instance, just as an example. You might prefer to go back to the original collection and bring in, and this is what we say about working together, yo-yoing throughout, You might prefer to bring back the ornate patterns and use maybe this ornate pattern on some of the sets. And then this one, for instance, has got a big opening in it, so you can actually pick a picture and put the picture in the middle. So you could have this ornate frame with that Christmas tree in the middle and have that as one of your sides to your bauble, and then the Merry Christmas. So it's all to play for. It's all interchangeable. It's all mix and match. That's the whole idea of the collection. Mix and match to your heart's content. So when we go on to samples for these, here's a beautiful one done by Ian. Again, I love the way Ian's done this. He keeps cutting in and then sinking the stamped images underneath. We tend to think of dies, especially nesting dies, or I do, to cut and layer out, to bring forward. Actually sinking in and creating that shadow, so luxurious, so elegant. Then we've got one again done by Ian, and Ian's cleverly brought in the little ones, turned them into baubles in his night sky, hanging them on the fern tree that he's created, and adding in our little, and this is from our very first Christmas collection, our little row of trees running across the bottom. This one's beautiful. This one's done by Sharon. So Sharon's brought in our Christmas kaleidoscope, then built up on the top here with our brand new tiles, and then added the poinsettias, our new poinsettias, in with our old winter foliage. And it's just that lovely mix of old and new. It should never really be called old, but the original collections mixing with the new collections to me is really lovely. Then we've got one by Diane. Now, how cool is this? Diane's gone off and created her lovely playing card style. And this really shows how modern and interesting this could be, and how you could take it off in different themes. Maybe if we're looking for possibly a bit more of a masculine Christmas, or a bit more of a modern Christmas maybe, you could take it off on this kind of playing card style. And I just thought that was a really fun and interesting way to be creative with these tiles. Then Lynn's brought this one to the game. Look at this. So Lynn's done some circle stamping. I don't even know if we call it circle stamping, but that's what I'm going to call it. And she's created this really cool picture by stamping them on her circle press to create this effect, and then added in this little circle of poinsettias in the middle. Now, Diane always explores colour in such a brave and unique way. And I can see here that she's certainly been creative, been full on, full vibrant Christmas, and that's what we absolutely love to see. I have a feeling that she's used a stencil to mark out her areas, done her stamping within the apertures of the stencils, and then using a fine liner added little lines in between where the stencil elements were. It's how I think she's created this, to make this really cool grid work background. Then of course used our Merry Christmas to be the front and centre focal point. Now, one I wanted to share with you, and I kind of mentioned about creating that tile effect, didn't I? We showed you the smaller baubles a little while ago from all of the different sets, and I said you could focus just in on one, but actually colouring them in different ways. And that's what I did here. And I literally did 3. So you can see the beigey one cut up and used in 3 places. You can see the bluey one cut up in 3 places, and you can see the pinky purpley one cut up and used in 2 places. So this was just done out of 3 pieces, and then added onto a self-adhesive sheet and cut up to make that effect. So you might look at that and think it's going to take a lot of work. It really doesn't. It's just 3 full panels coloured in and then cut up and moved around. And again, it did give me that kind of posh label vibe, was where I was going with that. Now, moving on from the tile collection, and I am doing this all back to front tonight. Honestly, you don't normally get to see this, but usually we start at this end and we work all the way down. I don't know why, but tonight we've started at this end and we're working all the way down. So all of my plans have gone out of the window. And I could change this, couldn't I? But we're not going to. We're going to roll with it. So our next one that we're going to look at, and again, this adds on to a previous release, and this is one we have been asked for time and time again. This is our Happy Christmas lines. Now, if you're feeling, what's he on about? I can see it's lines, but what is this collection he mentions? How does it add on? We've already done happy birthday lines. We've also done floral vines, and we've done snowflake stripes. And all of these stamps coordinate with our pinstripe elegance stamp. Again, this will be available on the shows on Hobby Maker on Friday if it's one you haven't already got. And the reason they coordinate and how they coordinate is that this stamp fits over the top. So you can stamp the lines in one colour, and then you can stamp your wording in another. Maybe this is a different embossing powder, maybe it's a different colour ink, maybe it's a different paint, polish, whatever it is you wish to stamp in. Maybe you're going to use our sticky stuff and you're going to stamp that and you're going to flake that in silver. Then you're going to do the lines and you're going to do them in that lovely ocean, what's it called? Ocean waves, is it? So you can have nice green lines in between gold writing. Maybe. The choice is yours. You could go off on so many different tangents. But this line fits over the top of all of these stamps, so that once you've got this line, you can put all of those different things underneath it to create completely different styles. Now, not only, and this again, this is original products that I'm showing you now, it's only the Christmas stamp that's new. We also did 2 stencils, so you could use the line stamp with the stencils. So you might wish to stamp in one colour and then blend ink in another, or bring in texture paste to go through the stencils, and then these items are going to fit between the lines. So we did Christmas icons and star lines. And I'm showing you all of these original goodies so you can see that you're building collections, we're building libraries. So it just gives you more options on where the new items can possibly work with some of the original ones, or vice versa. So this stamp, the one we're looking at, your Happy Christmas lines, again, brand new and launching exclusively on Friday on Hobbymaker. Your recommended retail price for this one is $11.99. Now this is gorgeous, and you're getting a good glimpse here at this beautiful snowflake background we're going to be looking at shortly. This one's done by Wendy. Diane's gone very vintage here on an octagon and done some beautiful stamping in the background, and then brought in our new poinsettias over the top of it. Again, cut from our brand new paper. And then Ian's done one here where he's gone really beautiful with the silver embossing powder over the top on black, and then again brought in the poinsettias and the ferns to finish off that beautiful corner display. So, okay, moving on. We've teased you with these backgrounds, haven't we? I think we go to those first. I am going to jump. I'm going to go to the other end of the desk and we're going to go to the backgrounds, because I think that it's only fair we introduce you to these next. Peter, please don't hesitate to jump in if we have any questions. You know I won't stop waffling for England.
Only a couple of questions. What we got? So, lovely Trish. Evening, Trish. Quick question. She said, would you need to use slightly lighter or heavier weight card with the designs, because they're so detailed when you stamp them?
I think you'd be fine with anything, to be honest. Being honest with you, I stamp predominantly on our Polar White, which is our Elite card. I'm trying to remember the names. Elite card, Polar White, and that's 300 GSM. And that's the one I tend to do 99.9% of my stamping onto. So I certainly don't go for a lighter weight. Even when I'm die cutting, that tends to be the weight I go for, unless I'm using some of our foundations card, which is currently, what's the numbers for our foundations? 160 to 240 current? No, 315, because we've got our thick coconut white, haven't we? So yeah, so even then we go kind of right the way through the game, really. So stamping wise, I don't think there's a reason why your card weight would make too much of a difference. I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest stamper. If we had Francoise here, who is stamping extraordinaire, she might give you a bit of different advice, but to me, I'm kind of a let's stamp it and see how we get on with it kind of guy, and tend to stamp on anything if it lingers long enough. I was even thinking earlier, and I haven't done this, and I'm sorry I haven't done this because I should have, but I even wonder if we could stamp on our new paper. And now I'm not going to get a completely crisp image, so I might not do sentiments and bits, but I think we could get quite a nice vintage finish to it. So my personal advice would be give it a try and see how you get on. You've got nothing to lose. And 9 out of 10 times, whatever paper or card we're working on, we can usually flip it over and use the other side, even if it goes terribly wrong, which, let's be honest, sometimes it does with any techniques, but nothing's really lost, is it? But give it a try and see how you get on. But my advice, play and explore. Any other questions?
Sue was just also asking for a reminder of when they can get the papers, please.
So all of the new goodies we're talking about this evening will be launching exclusively on Hobbymaker this Friday, 2 PM and 6 PM. So we've got 2 shows this Friday. Date for that is the 10th of October. Have to check these things. Memory like a sieve. Okay, so let's introduce you to our new Holly DL panel. So as you know, last month we brought out some brand new DL panels. They have been incredibly popular. And we knew they would be, to be honest with you, because they're so beautiful and they're so intricate. So we kind of lined these ones up knowing that we'd have to do a few more for you. And these, of course, are our brand new trio. There's 3 of them, hence the word trio, and they're our Christmas designs. Now these do vary slightly to the originals, and I'm going to bring these in so you can see them. Because if you've not seen the originals, there is a point of difference. With our original ones, we gave you an outside frame. The frame is separate, separate's the right word, from the main design. And this actually made them slightly smaller for the filigree panel. With these ones, we've left out the outside frame because you've got them in these ones, and instead we've gone slightly bigger with the design. You're going to have an outside edge, a plain outside edge this time. So you've got an outside frame line. So again, you can choose whether you leave it in your card or whether you cut it out, or whether you choose to back it with another colour from underneath, which you could of course cut with that outside edge instead if you prefer. You can of course match these up to cut them even larger if that's something you would like to do. If you do have these ones, then these frames are going to come in and fit very nicely over the tops of those. Have I got one of these to share with you what I mean? Let's have a little look. Did I bring them in? I did bring them in. So if we bring in one of these frames, this outside edge, you're going to see that that's going to fit very nicely over the top of this. So if you wanted to foam pad that over the top, you could absolutely use these. So original collection and new collection working harmoniously together once again. If you went for the nested shapes, so these are all of your fancy outside edges. And again, I'll show you these in just a second. But of course, your largest one of these is going to fit perfectly with these panels as well. So if you would prefer to cut them out with a fancy edge around them, and you happen to pick up the nested shapes when we launched those last month, then of course those are going to work together once again. And I know I'm kind of, I feel like we bamboozle because there's so much to talk about and so much to share. But to me, as a crafter, when I can say to you, this collection that came out last month, if you did purchase it, if you did see it, if you have got these edges already, they're going to work brilliantly with this brand new release. That opens up more options, doesn't it? That's more return on my investment because I've now got the ability to take these forward in a way that I didn't even know last month when I purchased them that I would be able to do so. So each one of these outside frames, which is completely different, in each set is going to work perfectly with our Christmas designs to give you a brand new edge to go around them. Then we talk about those nested shapes. So these are all of your different styles. We have of course done this many times before, but we've got decal and stitch. We have got fluted. We have got postage and dash. We have got plain, and we have got scalloped and pierced. Now each of these, the largest one is going to fit around these brand new Christmas panels to give you those different outside edges. But just because we're talking about the largest doesn't mean we have to stop there. If you imagine bringing in, let's see if I can grab another one here actually. Let's see if we could go, let's stick with a fluted because we used that one last time. Maybe we want to go for the third size down and we just want to cut that part out. Now I don't know how well you're going to see that, but I'm trying to show you that of course we could trim these down to make our slim lines even smaller, because that's the joy of having the nested sizes in all the different scopes to go through and play with. We can pick what layer we go for and trim these out and back them with the same ones. So again, these nested dies, these will be available on Hobby Maker on Friday, because to me they're an essential part of this collection. You may already have them, and if you have, great, but they will work in conjunction with this set if you've not already picked them up previously. Then talking about bringing designs forward, our very first Christmas collection, I can't even remember when now. What year was that? It was only 2 years ago, year and a half ago?
Year and a half.
Year and a half?
You were testing me now, aren't you?
And what calendar year did that fall into? 23 or 24?
4.
Can't be 24, surely.
Yeah, it must be.
No, it can't be.
October 25 now, aren't we?
So it was 24, so June 24. So when we did our first Christmas collection in dies, which I think was June 24, we did our Jolly Holly corners. I have always loved this design. Genuinely, it's so ornate, it's so pretty. You may certainly see a lot of similarities between these corners and this panel. Because if I like a design, if I like a pattern, we will bring that forward. And this, again, it's not necessarily about necessarily having to know that those two match, but you might want to put some corners coming over here that are going to coordinate. You might want to use this on the outside of your card and then put corners on the inside that coordinate. So again, not one that's going to be available on the shows on Friday, but one that is already available at our stockists for you. So knowing that you've got the ability to get that corner element to coordinate perfectly with our brand new panel. To me, it's just nice that you know these things. Nice you can see that it's all going to once again work together in every way that it can. Now, little plug here for our dear Gwen. Gwen shared this technique the other night. I'm going to stick to the other night because I've got no idea what day it was. Was it last Thursday? Was it the week before? Might even be the week before that. When she cut a die and she then used a self-adhesive sheet over the top of the die to pick all of the waste out of it, and then used that as a background, and she infilled it with glitter or flakes. I can't remember what she used. I think it was glitter. That's exactly what I've done. I've never seen that done before, but if you're looking at this and seeing the positive and the negative, that's exactly what I did. So I've cut it from the paper and then taken the waste out using a self-adhesive sheet, placed that down and then infilled with our diamond white glitter. This time using the Happy Christmas stamp on the top of it, building up with our new poinsettias I'm going to introduce you to in a moment. For this one, gone to town with the red gems, haven't I? Got a bit carried away, and every single hole on there I've marked it with a little red gem. Of course, they're from our value range of gems that we have as well. Another one here showing you gold mirror cut and then added glitter in, and you're getting to see a little sneaky of our new design from our oval that's coming up shortly. This one's sharing with you how we can match this pattern up and double cut it. So there is actually a join running through underneath where my panel is, and you can't see it, nobody'd ever know it's there, but it is joined so that that's a bigger panel than what it started off as, because I think that's important that we can see that that will work. Here's a lovely one that Wendy's created. Here's another lovely one that Ian's created. And here's a lovely shaker card that Ian's done as well, where he's got lots of shades of pink. And then in here, under his snow, he's added our little Merry Christmas from our Circle Sentiments, again, that come out in our very first Christmas die collection. So that's our first one. There is a trio of these new panels. So shall we move on to our next one? Our next one, and I know you've seen this already, so I'm going to be quick with this. We're going to move on and we're going to look at our snowflake panel. Now, each of these DL panels, the recommended retail price for these is $19.99. So this is our snowflake panel. Now, just like before, you're going to notice some similarities with our snowflake corners. Again, if I like a design, we're going to keep bringing it forward, because the more we bring it forward, the more interchangeability you're going to have. So this time you've got your snowflake corners that are going to coordinate again with your snowflake panel. This snowflake has also been in our circles and our squares that we bought out in the Rodney family. And there is also an independent snowflake of the same snowflake that again matches in perfectly. So there's more to this story than you're seeing here, but it's a good little glimpse at some of the items that you can work together with. Now again, one done by myself here, and I've joined this so you can see that we can go bigger with it. Another one here that I've created, you stuck to it as a DL and then added the panel on the front. Another one here that I've done, and I've chose to actually just focus in on a smaller area of it, bringing in those smaller DL from the die sets, the nesting dies, the pierced and the plain, to cut a window into actually what's one of our rectangular mats and layers, the scalloped and the pierced, just to make that little focal area. And then this is gorgeous. Who's done this one? This is Wendy. Of course it is. Wendy's done this, and she's created this little fold back. She's got the snowflakes on the front here with her paper back in it. Then when we open this, we have the next panel that I'm going to be introducing you to, our third one in our trio. But it's showing how both of those are going to work together, and we can build up on top of them to create that cool layered effect. Now you imagine that standing with the light shining through that middle panel, the beautiful snowflakes on the front, just shows you how every element of this collection is going to work together beautifully. So moving on to our third one. Now this is where we go off on a bit of a tangent actually. Here's where we build a whole nother story. And I did want to sing at you again. I've got to stop singing at you. You're not going to like it. It's not pretty. This one is our poinsettia DL. Now this has a bit of a party trick to it, because we have bought you a brand new poinsettia. Now the brand new poinsettia matches up and goes over the poinsettia DL. So that if we want to build this forward, and you've seen us do this concept before, but today we have a bit of a twist on this. This is going to build up perfectly on top of those. And you see that on the card that Wendy just did. The poinsettia die set on its own is one die, and it's going to cut out all of the components for you. You've got 6 pieces that are going to cut out. There's 3 different sizes, and you're going to cut 2 of each time it goes through the machine. The recommended retail price for this one is $11.99. But this story doesn't stop here with our poinsettia die and our poinsettia DL. I'm going to go off on a tangent. We're going to go bigger than I thought we would, but I think it's important you get to see this in all its glory to begin with. In a moment, we're going to come back to and introduce you further to our circular version as well. Isn't that yummy? So we've got a circular poinsettia. This again matches up and goes over the top of these. Then, and we keep talking about this, it's time we brought it in and introduced it to you. We have our elegant poinsettia oval. Now this time you're going to be looking at that thinking, well, that's different to the other ones, Jamie. What are you on about? You're not going to build up on top of them. They're clearly going to cut open. Oh yes, they do. But would you like to put a pattern behind it? Would you like to put a colour behind it? Would you like to take that little poinsettia from that set there and put that behind that poinsettia? Because, oh yes, that's going to work for you too. So that one poinsettia set can work perfectly with these 3 different die sets to create completely different looks. Now again, if we're predicting problems for stock allowance, I think we're going to have a problem with this one, because of this one pars up with all 3 items. Now I know that we didn't order enough to allow for that, so I think that's where our problem is going to come in this time next week. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. We try our best to predict these things, but when you think that some people are going to come in and get it with that one, and some people are going to come in and get it with that one, and some people are going to come in and get it with that one, and then some people are going to go and eat all of it, I think we might have a problem on our hands. But we'll see next week. I'll keep you posted. But going back to where we begin with the poinsettia DL, and starting here, if we have a little look at this panel, you can see that as this cuts, it is, and this is tricky on a camera, especially in white, it's a bit daft, isn't it? But you can see that that's all going to deboss for you. So if you don't want to build up on top of this, you just want to come in with some alcohol markers and colour that in. You want to highlight that with waxes. You want to put glitter behind all those beautiful swirly flourishes. You can do all of those techniques. You don't have to build up on top of it. You can leave it just as it is. It is stunning. If you want to build up on top of it, then of course that means that we can start creating effects like this. So again, placement where you want them to be doesn't have to be exactly where you see them here, but if you want to go roughly to where they are, like I have here, covering that middle part, because you don't have to follow it exactly, you can do. If you do want to follow it exactly, then here's one I've done with the new papers over the white die cut instead. Here's one that Ian's done using white vellum over white to create a beautiful white work effect. Here's one I've done where I've brought the same cream in, the same ivory. Oh no, I haven't, I'm lying to you. That's our papers, this is coconut white, sorry. Coconut white, and placed it over the top instead. And this time I've drop shadowed it with a marigold cut behind it, and then one of our beautiful greys over the top. And then this is lovely. Sharon's done this one. She's brought in some of our enchanted sprinkles and gone off on a pink tangent with it instead, using some of the dyes that come in with our magazine freebie set that we did with Die Cutting Essentials a little while ago. Again, showing you how everything can work together, everything can coordinate through perfectly. That's what you'd like to do with it. So shall we move on to the next one? You've seen them now, so it's not quite as big reveal, but still very, very exciting. I am going to show you these as well, actually, before we move on too far, because I'd kept these on separate. So let's show you the die samples to go with just the poinsettia die. So this is your die set. This again is what they're going to cut out like. So again, when they cut, they're going to emboss beautifully or deboss beautifully. So again, whether we're thinking of shaping them, you can see that the little cut lines have gone down into the flower to make shaping and forming really easy. If you want to add inks over the top of them, if you want to go in with waxes, that's going to work really nicely too. Here's one that Ian's done, where he's gone for our gold wax over the top of black die cuts. And this one's really cute, done by Lynn, where she's made a little pop-up box and a little front to it, and then built a little scene. And again, sometimes when it comes to Christmas, we don't want to make huge cards, do we? We're going to batch make, and we need really impressive, but really quite easy to do. This might be something along those lines that you think, well, actually, I could sit and make 30 of them, 40 of them, without too much hassle if I was to do a bit of batch cutting, stamping and making. Lynn's chose to go over these ones with waxes as well, over the top of the new paper. Then moving forward, let's go to the circle next actually. So this is the poinsettia circle. This one's recommended retail price is $17.99. This one done by Lynn. Lynn's gone full on glitter. Very modern and cool colours here as well. And you can see that she's brought in Sue's Angels and Sue's Joy Word to top this off as well. Building those poinsettias up perfectly over the top of that circle. Isn't that a wow? If that was on a mantelpiece and you popped round for a cup of tea on Christmas, that's the card you're going to pick up, isn't it? That's the one that's going to catch your eye and you're going to be like, who's done that? How have they done it? I want to know more. I also like the way that she's decorated the reverse of the card as well, because that's really, really pretty. And maybe that means that you actually want to post it that way to protect the top of the card too, so that you don't have to worry about anything getting damaged in the post. And then still when the recipient takes it out, it's all beautifully decorated and then ready to stand up and look wow, wow. Now here's another one that I did using that technique from Gwen. So I've cut one out of Gold Mirror card and then I've taken the waste out of the middle with a self-adhesive sheet and put glitter through the middles of them to create that really cool look, and then built up on the sparkly openings with the poinsettias instead. Now this one's lovely. This one is done by Ian. Ian's gone very pink and very cool. And as you can see this time, instead of actually using the die, the coordinating die, Ian's gone in and snipped out the panels from in the actual main die and layered those over the top instead, and then used the new die, the new poinsettia, to build up the centre. But if you want to, you could certainly do that instead of building up with the poinsettia set for a more postage friendly version. Another one done here by Wendy. So Wendy has brought in our beautiful elegant poinsettia circle and she's put it into that cool snowflake frame that come out with Rodney's family. And this again is the frame I mentioned earlier, where the snowflakes coordinate with a snowflake panel that coordinates with the snowflake corners. Then our last one from these, this one's done by Diane, and I love this colour. I always like white, grey and pink used together, and Diane has certainly gone on a wow wow with this, where she's added the poinsettia over the top of the stamped poinsettia. She's added grey poinsettias running around the circle, and then she's made these really cool corners. Oh, we've got Gem on the run there. Let's see if we can get our Gem back. Trying to escape. I'll anchor that down with a bit of glue later. But it added in little gems into the middles of each of our flowers as well. So, moving forward, let's take you on to our last die. This one, and I think I've possibly saved the wow wow to the end. This is our poinsettia oval. Now, this one's got a big board. Oh, I never showed you the board for the last one, did I? Before we move on, there's our circular board, just before I forget, showing you how you can take that circle, you can trim it out with the outside fluted edge, you can choose to leave it in your card. So this could be the card front, this could be a different aperture, this could be something you're going to cut into with a heart die maybe, something different if you wanted to. And then of course you've got that fluted circle that again you could use to back behind this or back behind this or build up on top of independently. It just gives you options, and each one of these once again is going to be debossed, so you've got lovely detail coming through on each of those flowers. I hope you can see this is never easy to show on camera. Okay, moving on to our last one. This is our poinsettia oval. Wow wow, wow 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 wow. This set's a wow. If you haven't got it, I'm in love. This of course, again, 8 dies. Huge potential with this one. We've got 4 corners and we've actually given you 2 different corner designs in this set. We've given you the poinsettia corner and we've given you the kind of dashy line, kind of diagonal line corner, because the diagonal line corner matches in perfectly with the stripy insert to the middle here for your actual oval. So that's this part in here. But you might not wish to use that. You might wish to go for the poinsettias instead. Then you've got your main actual oval element. Again, without the outside edge, this is going to stay in your card. So this is the effect being left in the card. This is the effect being left in the card and adding in the line to the middle. This is the effect if we use the outside scalloped oval to go with it, which of course comes in the set. This is if we use the middle part to cut it out as an opening. This is if we choose to leave it as a solid. So straight away you can start to see here how all of these different options come into play. You've then got that solid part as well that can be used on its own. You've then got your solid oval too. Now earlier we mentioned that if you happen to have this set, or that this is one on your shopping list, then this lattice part from in the centre is also going to be able to come out and be used in the middle of this part. So if you would prefer to use that in here to create a lattice effect in there, you can do. Or maybe you want to take the striped lines and put those into the middle of the butterfly. More interchangeability between seasons and collections to give you more versatility. Always our aim. Okay, shall we show you some samples with this one? I know I've bombarded you with lots of samples, but hopefully we've got a little bit of time just for a few more to give you a little bit more of a glimpse of what you could be creating with this collection. And you're going to have to let us know in the comments, what are you thinking? Are you in love? Is this something you feel you need in your world? Are you excited to get your hands on this collection? This is gorgeous. This one's done by Ian, a lovely scrapbook page. And I was talking to Tracy today earlier about this, and I said to Tracy, it's always very difficult with a scrapbook page, isn't it, when we're doing these examples? Because we end up with these big open spaces. But of course, if you think the scrapbook page is kind of like the foundation to what we really want to be looking at, it's always about trying to not steal the show from the photos, but complement the photos. So Ian's left us these little areas here to add our photos and our journaling onto. And if we added those in, that would really collectively bring that page together to make that a wow wow, wouldn't it? Now, speaking of wow wows, be prepared to go wow wow out loud. This one's done by Diane. And I say this one, this is a wow. We have a box. Around the side of the box, you will see that we have got stamped die cut pieces in different sizes. We've got the holly panel layered on the lime foundations card to make the background strip. On the top, we've got paper pieced in sections for each of our poinsettia corners. In the middle, we've used the scalloped oval that comes with the set to create that open frame that we've then placed underneath this lime green holly die cut, or oval poinsettia die cut, sorry, and then put red underneath it. We've used the dies to create the aperture in the middle and then added a frame over the top of it. And then when we open up this, it just gets bigger and better from there. We have got a trio of crackers, and each cracker has been decorated with that holly panel, just being cut down into small sections. And this is what I was on about earlier about using the pieces. We don't always have to use the backgrounds as full-on pieces. Even right down to these small snippets. If you're somebody who does smaller cards, you might think, well, I don't want to do DLs. You don't have to. These could be A6 cards. These could be 4x4 cards. You could use these to go right the way down as dinky as you want to go, because the pattern is still very, very intricate. It's down to where you snip it to how you wish to use it. Then on top of each one of our handmade crackers, she's added our happy Christmas little topper. Now again, we talk about going around somebody's for Christmas Day. You talk about taking a gift. You talk about taking something that's going to make them go wow. You talk about showing your appreciation for the dinner that they're going to potentially cook or the presents they're going to potentially hand over. What a lovely present or gift or item to take with you. Maybe you're going to use each cracker to house the gifts that you're going to be giving them. Maybe you're going to put them out as a little secret gift on the table instead. There are so many ways you could take this and run with it to make somebody's Christmas very, very, very memorable. I love that. I so love that. If I see this out and about, I would have to buy that. It's that level of love for me. And again, when we talk about making and selling, of course, with all of our products, you're more than welcome to do that. So if you'd like to make those and sell those on your craft fairs, there is absolutely no reason why you can't. Now this is gorgeous. This one's done by Lynn. So Lynn's gone in for lots of our new papers on this one. This one's done by Wendy. Wendy's gone for a beautiful white work card. And she's actually used our oval to bring together the top and the bottom panels, which really creates some beautiful shadows when we're talking white work. And the way she's suspended that part in the middle to create our little hanging element, very, very pretty, very, very lovely. Moving forward, we've got another one here by Wendy, bringing in some of our flakes. Another one here done by me, bringing in our corners and our sunken in circle. Then we've got another one here created by Diane, where Diane's built this little pop-up box, and she has used the oval to create these pieces running around the sides, if I remember rightly. I don't know if she has actually. That's she. I don't think that is. I think I've put this on the wrong pile. That's the circles, I think. But either or. You could play around and create that effect. Stamp the happy birthday in the background and sunk into the frame. That's definitely on the wrong pile, but it's fine. We're friends. Hopefully you'll forgive me. Now moving on to our very last item. I wanted to, I'm lying, I've got two actually, but I'm going to share this one with you next. This one's done by our lovely Sharon, and this is really pretty. Look at this. Again, when we talk about decorations and we talk about finishing touches and we talk about making gifts to give that are going to come out year after year, isn't that pretty? Bringing in just some of the elements from this collection to go between our lovely hanging decoration and our beautiful box to match with it. Although we're talking different elements, everything's coordinating, everything's working together to make that set look truly beautiful and truly elegant. And again, if we're making to sell, there's no reason why we couldn't be making these to sell them and making our stalls and our fairs stand apart from possibly the other people in the room. Now, last thing, and this one's well out of sync because there's so many bits on this, I don't know quite where to share it with you, but this again done by Diane. Diane's created this. How adorably cute. Again, we talk about gift giving, present giving, advents. How cute are these? So Diane's made little triangular boxes and then put the little finishing touches on them. And then they open from the base so you can put little gifts in them. How adorably cute are these? Then they just seal back up. Now again, you could make, and Diane's limited it so that she sits six within the box like so, but you could add as many of these as you wanted into there with as many little gifts or as few little gifts as you would like to put in them. You might even choose to not put the topper on each one of them and then put them together. I'll do it this way so you can see what I mean. But you put them together as little sections so they run round into a different shaped box. But what a lovely way to be able to make little decorations, all coordinating, all matching together with those finishing filigree touches on the top of them. Now that is all of the inspiration I have to share with you this evening. Now Gwen has a few more bits and pieces in the post heading her way already that she might, and I can't guarantee it because I don't know how much time she's going to have. Gwen's got a busy Thursday evening, but if she has chance, she might share with you a few more of our DT samples and a few more that I've been doing, because we've posted them off to Gwen, because on Saturday, Gwen will be doing a demo day at the Art of Craft from 10 AM to 3 PM in Aldershot. Now, if you'd like to know more about that event, check out the event section on the Creative Expressions page, because there is an event posted already that you can go on and it'll give you the address of where it's being held, because it's being held in a village hall in Aldershot. Am I correct on this?
Always testing me.
I am testing
Not far
Pete.
from.
Somewhere along these lines. So if you'd like the exact address, postcode, all of the details, check out the event section to find out more. But Gwen will be there, I want to say in the store, but it kind of will be in the store because they're going to have a store in the village hall because they couldn't, basically, they know that when Gwen comes to town, the crowds are too big and you can't all physically fit in their store. So they're going to kind of pick us up and move us to this village hall for the day. But everything will be there for you to be able to purchase. And Gwen will be there from 10 till 3, giving you loads of inspiration with this collection, this brand new, kind of exclusive to Hobby Maker on Friday, not released to the rest of the world stockists until Tuesday collection. So if you don't want to purchase it potentially from Hobby Maker, that's fair. We allow you, of course, rightly so, to pick and choose where you wish to purchase from. Then on Saturday, Gwen will have it exclusively at that stage available from the Art of Craft. And then on Tuesday, it will become available to our stockists around the world. And we will be back Monday night for Monday Night Natter with more inspiration with this collection and to tell you more about it and tell you about the stockists as well. But that's looking forward. I'll tell you more about all of that later on, I'm sure. But demo day, 10 till 3, Art of Craft, Aldershot, Saturday. Okay? I told you there's lots to tell you this evening, isn't there? And I'm really, really struggling to keep up with it all. So hopefully I'm getting it through there and remembering all of the bits I need to tell you. Even with a list, I'm still off on a bit of a tangent. So, any questions before we move on any further?
There's a lot of love for the DT
Is
work.
there? They're incredible,
And
aren't
for the
they?
products.
Honestly, our DT are off the charts amazing. We couldn't do this job without them. I often feel I'm not grateful enough because of I can't stress enough, we couldn't do it. You look at the hours they pour into all of them creations to make us be able to share so much inspiration with you. And don't forget, we've got members of our woodwear team who are not represented here, and then we've got our lovely Emma who does all the videos for us as well. And as a collective, that team, the work they put in behind the scenes to make sure that every day, and I literally mean every day, you will see posts coming up full of inspiration with this collection. So when you've got it home, you don't for 1 second have to think, well, what can I do with it? How am I going to work with it? I see that card on telly, but now I can't find it. It's all there for you to constantly be inspired and constantly reminded on what you can be doing with it. And it is all thanks to them. They're an incredible team, and we couldn't do this without them, could we?
No, absolutely not.
Genuinely couldn't.
Speaking of which, Laura is with us.
Laura's with us, causing bother.
She has, if she would. She said you can stamp on that paper.
Can you?
She sent me pictures as well.
Has she?
She has.
What are the pictures like? Can we see the pictures?
Oh, I haven't looked.
What are the pictures? Because Laura
really
is on a
told.
secret mission
Oh, is she
for a
now?
future release. Well, of course she is.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if we can share Laura's pictures. Is Laura on this release? Is she on a future release? What's Laura up to? Oh, we can't share
We
that.
can't share that.
We can't share that. We cannot share that.
No.
We would be in trouble with Françoise. She might ring me up and go, oi up, what's going on? Not that she's ever said, oi up, what's going on in her life.
Who is
Especially,
she?
oi up, what's going on?
Oi up.
Oi up. I don't know. We'll go off back to what we should be doing. Should we make a card, people? Should we make a card? If you're not asleep already, should we make a card? I thought we'd make this card because it's really pretty, hopefully, and really easy, and just hopefully a fun one to create without too much hard work. Because if we don't actually want to do too much hard work, do we? We want instant wows, and hopefully this is going to give us instant wows. I say this as somebody who's run out of time and hasn't checked my kit, so we'll see if it's an instant wow or an instant oops, but I think we'll be good. So through this one, we have already gone ahead and we have added on some of our brand new paper, and we have gone for a lovely light grey from our Foundations card range. And I say light grey because I don't know which colour it is. I'm going to say it's stone. I'm not good with the names. You think after all these years I would remember the names? I haven't got a clue. I haven't. And I could tell you a little secret, but I might get moaned at from the
I
corner.
was waiting for that to be dropped in when we was talking about the coconut white earlier.
Was you? What could I be dropping in, Peter?
To do with the heavyweight card.
Oh, you've got one step further than I was going to go.
Colour of coconut
I was just
white?
going to say we were picking new colours. I wasn't. I was going to stop there. I was going to be very well behaved. So back onto our paper.
That was a quick divert.
But I think that's a star for you.
They're brand new.
Brand new.
Brand
What's
new.
going on in the
I don't
corner?
know.
Brand new.
Brand new.
I think we've had Darth Vader join us.
Brand new foundation.
That's what we
range.
need to get you, a
Might
Darth
be coming.
Vader mask to sit in the corner. With your cold, you sound a bit Darth Vader.
Debbie McGee come Darth.
Just sat over there in the corner, giving us
Dear
heavy
me.
breathing. It's the last thing we need.
Absolutely. Our Charlene is with us from the Paper and Ink Boutique over in, I want to say Calgary.
Calgary. What happened there?
I don't know. They're in for
Calgary.
a treat this evening, aren't they?
Charlene, just leave. Honestly, you don't want to
create
watch this.
Christmas all year long. There's so much to be done.
There is a lot of Christmas in there. This is our last Christmas, in case you hadn't kind of predicted that. This is our last one for this year. There will be no more releases for Christmas. Finish that sentence quickly. But no more Christmas releases this year. We have had a lot of Christmas. But I love Christmas. And Christmas, we know, is the season we all create the most for usually. So it's lovely to have so many goodies to play with. And then hopefully this evening we've kind of shown you how some of the pieces that we've launched throughout the year are coming back to work together with a brand new collection. And like this background stamp, you imagine putting this behind Rodney and family and going back kind of and revisiting those sets. I'm going to stamp this in green just because I really like playing with the different colours. We always expect we're going to stamp in black. but actually it can be really lovely to show you how you can go off and stamp in other colours too. Now this one isn't what we class as a pattern match stamp, in the sense usually when we talk pattern match stamps we mean that half the image is going to be divided and you can match it up. So like the pumpkins, for instance, you get half a pumpkin but that side of the stamp matches again, so you can restamp it and restamp it and restamp it. This isn't that sense of pattern match, but of course you could quite easily move this up and stamp again and again and again if you would like to make that as big or as small as you need it to be for the project you're working on. So now we've got our Happy Christmas going across in a line there. We're going to pick our next stamp, and while we pick our next stamp, let's check in with Darth Vader because he's chuckling in the corner. So what have we found to chuckle about now, Darth?
Heather's been really bad. I don't know if Heather, I think Heather's a customer of lovely Jeanette at Baycraft, so I don't know if she's in Australia right now.
What's her second name?
Navas. You've set me up here, haven't you?
I haven't intentionally.
Sorry, Heather.
Yeah, she is
Michelle?
Jaycraft. I'm pretty sure. I'm confidently sure.
We're seeing our lovely Jeanette, aren't we?
We are seeing our lovely Jeanette. Here you go again with another clanger.
Well, not really a clanger though.
I think it is 2 stars. 2
Catch up with
stars.
our She's coming all the way from Australia to come and see us in Great Yarmouth, isn't she?
She is. She is.
I might be able to get her out, you know, have a little drink or something. Anyway.
I don't know if she needs to be
leading
corrupted
our
with
Jeanette's
your
astray.
behaviour.
It started off because Heather, she says, I can see Pete dressed as Darth Vader waving his lightsaber in his corner.
Oh,
No,
I don't know if that's something that should be done in Jack and
I
Corner.
don't. Not in Jack and Ori corner.
I think we
Not
should
with
be
Debbie
much more
McGee present
behaved.
anyway.
No,
Yeah.
but I do like the idea of the Darth Vader mask.
Heather said it's morning there in Australia, so look at them joining us all across the other side
Could
of
you
the world.
imagine waking up and being met with us first thing in the morning, waffling on about Darth Vader, Debbie McGee, and your random corners? I just admire you, Heather. Thank you for joining us. But I'm sure you must have something like this morning. We have this morning. You could watch Kat Deely and Alison Hammond chatting about the day. You must have an Australian version.
I'm going to have to find out. Heather, she says, see, Heather's in the know. She says, I've asked Jeanette to give you both a hug from me when she visits you very soon.
As if she's talking about it.
I know.
We're proper excited. She's going to go see a few people. I'm looking for masking tape, which I think once again has been taken from my room because I can't find it. Every week the masking tape goes missing, doesn't it? Go on, Annika. Off you go.
Through the aisles.
So we're going to bring in our matching nesting die. So don't forget that this is the nesting die by Pete's off on his run. This is the one that came out last year. So you may already have it. If you've already got it, we're not bringing out a new set. It's back to this one. It will be available on Friday. It won't be in the bundle. It'll be a separate one because we know lots of you will already have it. But if you need it, Friday shows it'll be available. But it has been out about a year. So of course, check in with our stockists if you prefer. But it will match up perfectly to the new stamps. And we can go in, pick where we need to be, anchor that down and send that through our machine, which we'll do because it'll be nice for you to see how they cut and match.
Kathleen has asked, because she's still got some of her Clouded in Mystery.
Oh, lovely.
She should sell that on.
Lucky you,
I
Kathleen.
know. So what would the best ink be to use to stamp in there? Make a bauble.
Going back in memory now, I think honestly, Kathleen, memory like a fish. Truthfully, memory like a fish. If Lynn's with us in the comments, Lynn might jump in, or Diane, or even Ian, all about DT really. They're much more intelligent than I am and they've got better memories than I have. Yeah. But I think I just used our quick dry ink pads. I don't think I used anything fancy. I know I must have used our quick dry ink pads because I stamped one with squirrel red. I did snowflakes in squirrel red because I thought, why did I do red snowflakes when I could have used the blue? So yes, you can use these, which is just a quick dry ink pad, and I'm pretty sure you could use lots of different ink pads, to be honest. It is kind of a plasticky surface, but yeah, it still kept a bit of porousness. I would try on an offcut with different inks, but I know those ones work for sure. But try and see, but I don't think you'll struggle to find one that would work, to be honest with you. I hope that helps. Okay, so we're going to take this out and we're going to remove this from this side. Now, of course, we've created the perfect aperture that we're going to tear due to my brand new piece of masking tape because I didn't put it on my clothes. But there we have our beautiful Merry Christmas tile. Now don't forget that these do tessellate, so that does mean that you can build these up to as big or as small as you would like them to be. You're going to chuckle because the way I said tessellate, aren't you? Tessellate, just one of them words.
Lynn does say quick dries.
Yeah.
Lynn.
Thank you, Lynn. Thank you for rescuing me. I love the fact they're always here. I don't make them. I do tell them that they shouldn't watch these, but they're very kind that they do join us, because they do certainly help, especially in situations like this where my memory's like a fish. Okay, so as we can see, we could build that up as big or as small as we want it to be. This is the next size up, but just so you can see what I mean, we could carry on building that into any size we want it to be. And like I mentioned earlier, we might wish to do this. You might want to put the Merry Christmas at the top. You might want to bring in that lovely scene to be in this window here. You might want the Happy Christmas on there, and maybe not the Merry Christmas and the Happy Christmas. We'll go for that one. And actually we could put that one at the bottom, and then on these two sides we could go back to the ornate collection and we could stamp that one in these two, and then possibly bring in that Christmas tree. Where was the Christmas tree? I think the Christmas tree is on this one, isn't it? Yeah, here it is. So we could then put the Christmas tree into the middles of those. And this is what I love about having a set that you can choose where you build it to. How big or how small, how kind of, the limit's yours, isn't it? Or there is no limit, but it's up to you. So, back to our card before I completely lose the plot. On this one, what I've done is I've gone ahead with some alcohol markers and I've coloured this in. On my original one, I coloured it in on a piece of white and I used alcohol markers to colour the actual panel. For the kits, we chose to use grey card instead, because we decided it was actually very similar and probably a lot easier than colouring it all in with alcohol markers to get that shaded effect. So we went for some of our pebble grey card instead, and then used a red alcohol marker to go around the edges and a dark grey one to finish off the foliage. We're going to take the back off of this and we're going to place this onto our next size up in our tiled eyes. We're then going to go back to where we were and we're going to bring in our Merry Christmas now that that's stamped, this time using it in black instead of where we did our stamping it in green. And we're going to place that down. Now you might choose to go in with some glitter and a quickie glue pen and pick out all of the stars maybe, just to give that a bit more of a sparkly background. That could look really nice. Then we're going to bring in our oval set from in our Elegant Poinsettia, and we're going to cut this from our paper and we're going to put that over the edge. We're going to go more over this side looking at my finished one. And then we're going to bring in our panel, and with this one we're just going to put some 1mm foam tape on the back. Now earlier I said to you how your poinsettias can match up to go underneath these, so it's a bit of a tricky one to get it the right place. So let's see where we are. Is that the right size? There we are. Is that right? I think we're about there. And that isn't quite right. I want you to see it's exact. They all look the same, these petals, so we'll find it in a second. But it does perfectly coordinate, so you can back that. I think I keep going back to the same one. I think we're there. Is it there? Oh, I think we are there. So that then matches. Why am I making this 5 times harder than it was when I did it earlier? So that then matches so that you can put the red going through underneath if you want to, for instance, and you can build those up to give them a different look. And this is what I love about having that separate poinsettia die to coordinate and match in with this set. But we're going to use our 1mm foam tape. We're going to take that off the back and we're going to add this onto the front of our card. What are you chuckling at over there? Darth? Darth.
Kim says that stamp would make a good pub clip for a beer. We haven't had a pub update from Kim for a while.
We haven't. Maybe
Kim
you made her conscious.
Yeah, maybe we did. Sorry, Kim.
No, not we. Not we.
Maybe I did.
We. That was a we. I don't think there was a we in that behaviour. I think that was
see what
you.
you're saying there. The old IPA or something.
It's got that kind of look to it, hasn't it? Them kind of labelly looks. It's what I really liked. Okay, so then we're going to bring our fern. And we're going to use our fern going around the edges here. And we're going to bring in another piece of our fern. And we're going to place that off up the top there. So the fern came out a little while ago. When did the fern come out? July?
Yes.
I think July. Yeah. Yeah, I think it was July. And then our poinsettias, we've cut them from our brand new paper. And all we're going to do is just pinch the petals to give that a little bit of a 3D look. Nothing complicated. And I've done that already twice. We've added some foam tape onto the back of these, and we're going to bring these in and place them going off on that corner. We've then got a little bow that I've added some foam tape onto the reverse of. And we're going to bring that in and we're going to put that at the very top of our hanging bauble. So that comes down and gives us a little, we might tighten that up slightly. I'll play with that later. But it gives us our little bauble effect there. Now, if you wanted to, on the inside, you see this on one of the examples that I did, you could actually add in another one of these with a different stamped image on it, or a different colour, or a different layer, or a different style, to actually continue that theme from the outside to the inside. You could, of course, use the oval, and then you could either put this big panel on the top of it, or you could stick with a panel that's actually already on it, and you could have that on there to actually write your insert or stamp your insert onto instead if you wanted to, again, coordinate the inside and the outside of the project. All quite simple, isn't it? Nothing complicated at all, but quite a fun and easy one to do. Do you have a question, Peter?
No, not particularly.
No? Oh, good.
Our lovely Alison. Hi, Alison. Lovely glue lady. So she saw the Debbie McGee advert again today.
Debbie McGee.
I still need to look at that. Said she was giggling away. Anyway, she did ask earlier about how you'd store your stamps and stencils. Any tips at all?
I'm just boxes. Honestly, just boxes. A lot of the stamps, what I'll do is I will cut across the top. So our stamps, you open them normally from the bottom. They've got a little seal on them. And across the top is like this ribbed line. I'll cut across the top, so I've got a little pocket to keep them in. You can use like DL card bags instead if you prefer, and then I'll stand them in a box so that I've got them all stood there if I'm being tidy. Pete's probably over there going, no he doesn't.
I'm not saying a word.
That's my kind of way of organising, but lots of the time they just kind of end up thrown in a box because I'm one of the messiest people going. And then stencils, this is our studio stencil pot. But that's as organised as it gets with me. This is a fridge storage tub from...
Stolen from the fridge.
B&M's, I think. Was stolen from the fridge. I did buy them from the fridge. You didn't use them, so they come here instead. Use
Gone
it or
with a
lose
bread
it.
knife, my baking tray.
You didn't use them. They just sat there empty, and then you'd put stuff all around the fridge and not use the trays. So the trays had to go, I'm afraid.
Darth Vader's going to be out in a minute. Watch out, the saber's about.
I don't know. Okay, this brings us to the next thing. Speak amongst yourselves, because I forgot to get it from the floor, so I'll be back in a second. Usually we give away the cards. Tonight we decided we wouldn't give away the cards. We would give away this instead, because it would just be a bit more fun. On Thursday, we spoke about this. This is our new issue. Oh, it's not our new issue. I'm doing me. But it is the new issue of Die Cutting Essentials magazine. And I did share this with you on Thursday that we are in here. There is a lovely die from Spellbinders. I think I was page 24 or 25. I'm not going to show you too much. There's one of our lovely stockists. The lovely Cheshire Crafts is in here. So let's move forward.
You weren't page 3 then?
No, thankfully. I don't think they'd do that in a craft magazine. Behave over there, Darth. Honestly. Where was we? Were we page 23? Oh no, we're page 36.
Those fridge trays come in handy.
They do.
See?
Especially if he doesn't use it. So in here, you will see some inspiration with the original DL collection. Again, taking you off on a bit of a Christmas tangent. So we thought it would be nice if we gave this away. And I'll sign it as well. Not that you might want it signed, but Pete told me I'd got to, so I'm going to sign it. Exactly. So we'll sign it for you as well.
Is that your signature?
Well, it ain't Bob Geldof's, is it? Whose do you think it is? You just watched me do it.
Like a scribble.
That is my scribble. Go away. You're nasty to me. Sit over there, moan about your fridge storage. Behave. So we will give this away. All I need to know in the comments, if you would like to win that, is do you read/subscribe to any magazines? This could be OK, it could be Grazia, if Grazia is still a thing, I've got no idea. It could be Heat magazine, it could be Gardener's World. Take a break. We're just after asking a silly question, really. But if you would like to, let us know in the comments, do you read any and do you subscribe to any, or either. We're just being nosy, genuinely. It could, of course, be a craft magazine. If it's a craft magazine, then that's fine too. But just any magazine. I love a good craft magazine, obviously. Who doesn't? Lots of inspiration, lots of lovely free gifts. Love a good craft magazine. Besides this, I only ever read magazines when we go to the airport, and Pete never takes me to the airport. So
I don't.
Very rare. So I don't know if Grazia is still a thing.
Grazia, of course.
Was Grazia earlier? I don't know if that's still a magazine. Is that still a magazine?
It's a bit posh for you, isn't it?
Well, I never read it. I'm always Heat or OK. I don't mind OK, but OK can be a bit pricey. We stand there in the airport, you're like, will I sleep? Will I read? Will I sleep? Will I read? I can sleep, I'll sleep. But heat, right? And then you buy both, and then they both tell you the same stories, but slightly different. Suddenly Natalie Cassidy was in London, the next day she was in Manchester, but same outfit, different street, same street, different places.
The world of Jamie Rogers.
You're like, well, make your mind up. Manchester, London. Okay, should we do another demo? Stop talking about Natalie Cassidy. Love Natalie Cassidy. She was on Big Brother's bit on the side the other night, weren't she?
She was.
Looked very good.
Looked
Very good. Okay, so moving on. This one is sharing with you our lovely poinsettia circle. So you know me, I love a blue and white project, and any excuse for blue and white and it's coming out, because I just think it's really elegant and really pretty. So we've kind of skipped ahead a bit with this project just for speed, because I knew by this stage we would be late in the evening, and this is why I should check a kit, because I haven't got a bit of blue card, Peter. Can I please have a piece of blue card cut? Or do you want to bring me some card and a trimmer? I would like a piece of blue card cut to, let's go with 7 by 7, and it needs to be that shade of blue, please.
And that is in English?
Blue.
I got the blue bit.
I don't know what blue.
The 7 by 7 bit I didn't get.
What's wrong with 7 by 7?
Oh, I'll do it in centimetres.
Well, just follow the nodules on the trimmer. It says 7 by 7. You're being proper problematic tonight.
There's, who was it, Jasmine? She called me Darth Vader.
Darth Vader, that's about right, Jasmine. I'm with you. But I'm not allowed to pick on you, but I'm with you. Okay, so a bit of glue, and then we're going to go for our poinsettia corners. And we're going to bring in a piece of paper to work on, and we're just going to add some glue onto our blending tool, and we're going to pat this across the back of our corners so that they're nice and covered, ready to go down onto our project. Now our project, again, for speed, I know that by now you're going to be bored of me, so I'm going to be quick with this one. We've gone ahead, we've used our scalloped squares, we've used our pierced element which comes with those, and then we've gone to the scalloped and pierced circles, and we've used just the pierced element. We've put that into the middle. This is why we give you those pierced dies separately, or one of the reasons why we give them to you separately. It might not be that you want to always use them on a mat or a layer to be the same shape, a same circle, for instance. It might mean that you just want to actually cut them in and leave them in your card, which is what I've done here. So we end up with this beautiful pierced circle, kind of pointing the direction to the idea that we're going to have a circular element placed within the centre of it. And that's what I love, because it gives it that kind of luxurious finish without too much hard work, without any effort, just actually matching in those two pierced elements so it all coordinates throughout. We're then going to match in our scalloped elements. So we're going to go to our scalloped circles, and we're going to build this up. Now don't forget that this die actually comes with a fluted edge circle, but we don't have to use the fluted edge, so this time we've gone for the scalloped instead. We're then going to bring in our filigree panel, which of course has been cut out again with that scallop instead of the fluted, showing that versatility to work between the different sets. You're chuckling again over there, Daft.
No, I was just coughing.
There was a chuckle before the cough, don't give me that.
As the Catholic says, a bit of a domestic vibe going on tonight, boys.
With a domestic.
We like to keep them entertained. And
good.
Diane, cheeky Diane, says your signature's like a doctor's. She can't read that either. Oh, Diane, we love you.
I couldn't be a doctor.
Could you imagine?
Oh no. Oh no, no, no. Okay, so onto our flowers. Again, all cut, and all we're going to do is just pinch these. You don't have to pinch them if you don't want to, but that's just kind of the quickest way I can do them. So I tend to do a lot of that. Another one I do like, and you've probably seen me do this 1,000 times. Let's see if we can find a small enough one. As if we find a paintbrush or something similar and give them a little curve around those instead. So we then end up with more of a U instead of a V. When we pinch, we get a V. When we round, we get a U. And you could do that in both ways, going up or down, depending on how you want them to be. Or of course, we could bring in some tweezers and we can work around them. Or we can bring in a ball tool and we can shape them properly and professionally. But for these ones, we're just going to pinch them up in the middles. No domestic today, is there really?
No, all good.
No domestic. Give us time. No domestic today. All good on the Western Front. It doesn't often get to domestic stage, does it?
Alison says, I can't imagine you two arguing.
Oh, it happens, Alison. It happens.
Oh, it does.
It does happen.
Not that often.
Depends on how many items I take out of the kitchen.
That's right.
Tonight he seems to be rather protective over them fridge organisers he didn't use for a year. So you can see what we're...
stealth tactics. He must
Stealth?
come in the kitchen and steal when I'm not looking.
Oh yes, I sneak in with a balaclava just to get the fridge storage.
Just want to go in, the saucepan's gone. I'll be like, what's he up to now?
I've got a good use for a saucepan.
I've got good use for a frying pan. Cooking some bacon.
I'm a vegetarian. You can keep your bacon.
Bless our Joyce, lovely Joyce. She says she's never bored. That's sweet.
Good. We aim to hopefully keep you somewhat entertained in our craziness.
Even our viewers haven't dropped down in numbers tonight.
They're all on the phone trying to get us some help.
Yeah.
Me, especially. Okay, so on to our... What was the blue, Pete? Oh, you don't know the blue,
It's a pile of blue.
It's a pile of blue. And which blue would this blue be? I think it's blue dusk.
Oh,
Does that help
blue
you?
dusk? Yeah, I'd go blue dusk.
I think blue dusk. So we'll use our 1mm foam tape on the reverse. Our foam tape's just come back in stock, by the way, our 1mm and our 2mm foam rolls. This is the one I've used quite a bit of, but these are big 50-metre rolls. Absolutely love these because they're just such good value. We're then going to bring in our panel, and we're going to place our panel on the top with our beautiful flowers on it. Now, it's up to you. I've actually stuck my panel on the wrong way, kind of, because of what I wanted was enough room to add in my sentiment. But I might shoehorn it into there. That ain't too bad, actually. Yeah, we're going to add it into there, just so we've got a sentiment. A card always looks nicer with a sentiment on it, doesn't it? So we're going to take off our foam tape off the reverse of this, and we're going to place just a small amount into the back part of that, just so that we're making up the same height when we come off the edge, because if not, our sentiment panel might go slightly down here where it's gone off the edge of the foam padded piece. We're going to bring in our Let It Snow, and we're going to go back to that glue we was playing with a little while ago, and we're going to pick some of this up, and we're going to go back to our sentiment and add a small amount of this over the back of that. And we can place that back in the little tub. Reshape my sentiment slightly. I've had some tweezers. I do this with tweezers, but you don't want to wait for me to find my tweezers. And then we'll add that on the top there. And that completes card number 2. That was easy, wasn't it? So again, just following in with the dies, making sure that everything matches up, everything coordinates right the way through. The original one was done in a slightly different colourway, and I added a couple of little pearls onto the end of the sentiment panel, which of course could be added. This one I should imagine is probably periwinkle, or that one might be blue dusk, and that might be ice blue actually, because I think that's darker than periwinkle. But there is lots of shades of card to explore with the Foundations range. It's always hard to remember them all because they keep growing and they keep changing and they keep adapting, but lots and lots of inspirational colours to play with. Now, if anyone has any questions about any of the bits we've run through this evening, please let us know in the comments. And if you haven't already joined in to win that magazine, then please let us know in the comments which magazines do you read or subscribe to, which are your favourites to go to. Maybe like me, it's only when you get on a plane that you're going to pick up an OK magazine or a Grazia or whatever it may be, or maybe you're an avid take a break reader. Doesn't matter what it is, just let us know in the comments. And if you're wondering, this is a very random conversation and a very random question. It could have been worse. When we sat here this evening trying to work out what random question we was going to ask you tonight, the number one suggestion that was winning the race was if you was a headline on the front of a magazine, what would it be? We decided that that might end up more problematic, shall we go with? So we decided we would stick to just what magazines do you read. We have to try and keep it where it needs to be. But you never know. If you wish to join in with the other version, you're more than welcome to, but you won't be entered because it is all about what ones do you read. But if you was a headline in a magazine, what would your headline be? But I'm not meant to be asking you that, so let's not follow down that line too far. But I think that'd be interesting. I've got a few suggestions for yours.
I can move on to Linda's comment. Lovely
Go on,
Linda. See, let's bring the tone back and be more
Okay,
sensible.
go on then.
After-
Sensible Linda question.
After you're leading us astray.
Me?
Lovely Linda Evans, evening Linda. She said,
Evening, Linda.
so happy to hear that creative expressions are still staying in the marketplace. You met Sue in Pembrokeshire.
Oh,
What a lovely lady.
She's a
Said
professional.
you've kept the brand going, lots more to come in the future. Loving the mix and match sets.
There is loads to come in the future, honestly, and I'm not really meant to talk about things like this, but I'm gonna, because of, you know, Pete might let me get away with it for a minute. Upstairs in our offices, we'll have to do a little tour soon. I promise there will be a tour. We'll do a video at some point when everything's sorted. We're still kind of in the throes of moving in and getting sorted, and it's chaos. It genuinely is chaos. Good chaos, lovely chaos, very happy chaos, but chaos. But we do have very big whiteboards upstairs, like ginormous whiteboards, and we've just finished planning them all the way through to next September. So there's literally like lines and lines and lines of all of the things that we're hoping, and this is a hope because you never know what tomorrow is going to bring, let alone next September, but there are plans or loose ideas, loose threads of things that we would like to see come in the future, isn't there? And we've got lots we want to
drop
do.
a bombshell or something.
No bombshells, no, just an honest conversation of kind of what's going on.
Big plans.
Okay. Big plans, big plans. Got to have plans. Don't have plans, what do you have? So you've got to have plans, got to have ambition. If not, why are we bothering? So we've got to keep always moving forward. And at this stage, I would try and quote something Walt Disney said that I can never, ever, 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 ever remember. But when he was talking about his parks when they opened, he said something along the lines of, and here I go, completely phrasing it wrong. But if we're not evolving forward, we're going backwards. We've always got to be moving forwards. It was nothing like that at all. But it always sticks in my head, that loose thread of you've kind of got to be planning forward. If you're not planning forward, then what are we doing? So we've always got to be planning. It doesn't always run smooth, doesn't always work, but there's always got to kind of be a plan somewhere. But before we talk more about next September, because that seems utterly bonkers, should we talk about Thursday? This Thursday, Gwen, before we leave you, Gwen has got a very fun evening for you this Thursday. She is going to be bringing you her second in the collection of bundle bargains. There she is, hidden out at the bottom there. Ta-da! Gwen will be live with you at 7 p.m. on the 9th of October. She will be bringing you this bundle bargain of cover plate dies. There are 4 dies in this bundle. The recommended retail price is £55.96. You can save over £20 by buying the bundle for just £34.99. So even if you had one of these, you would still do better to buy the bundle than buy them all individually. We love it when we can offer you savings like that. They're few and far between. Gwen's only allowed to do one of these a month. And even then, it isn't actually categorically stated as a month, but no sooner than every 4 weeks is she allowed to bring you a bundle of bargains, because we simply cannot always do them. But as you can see, she will tell you more about these on Thursday. There are 4 very large dies in the set. They are 5 inches by 4 inches approximately. There's loads you can do with these, whether it's paper piecing, colouring them in, building them up, using them like you can see here to create multi-panel sections, using them as sides of a box, for instance. The options truly are endless. Now, as you all know, I'm sure by now, we do not sell direct, so you are going to need to purchase these from one of our stockists. Now on Thursday evening, Gwen will be able to tell you which stockists have these available. Those stockists are allowed to already have them available. So if you do a little bit of looking around, you might already find your favourite stockist has it available for you. If they don't already have it available, do not fear. Thursday evening, Gwen will be telling you where you can go to get your hands on this set. It is a limited edition pack. The last set sold out before we even got to Thursday, as in it had gone out to all of our stockists around the world, and there was literally no more to be had anywhere. I don't know if this one will do the same. We have given quite a bit more stock to this one, but there is always that chance. So if you're having a look at this and thinking, I'd really like to get my hands on that for $34.99, keep an eye out at your favourite stockists. And of course, watch on Thursday evening at 7 p.m. when Gwen will be giving you more inspiration with it and telling you which stockists have it available if you haven't already tracked it down. Then lastly, before I let you go, I wanted to talk to you about Die of the Week. This week we have started a brand new Die of the Week, haven't we? And I'm not meant to show you much of this because we're meant to share that. I tell you this every week. I can't be trusted with anything, can I? We're meant to share with you every day at 4 p.m. a new creation created with a Die of the Week. But there's a couple I wanted to share with you this evening. So I'm just going to sneak in a couple. Now, first of all, if you haven't seen the post today, this is this week's Die of the Week. This is our Art Deco collection Floral Extravaganza by Sue Wilson. Its code number is CED1550. If you have a little look around, Google that, you will find it. Again, There may even be a stockist list on the Facebook page today. If not, there will be one tomorrow, I'm sure. But this die set is beautiful. It come out of Sue's Art Deco collections, and of course it's very Art Deco flavoured, but it doesn't have to be. Now, when you joined me on Thursday last Thursday, let's put that into a more sensible sentence, you may remember, if you did join, if not, you might want to go back and have a little look. Joanne asked us if we could demo this beautiful stamp from Woodware. I don't know how well you're going to see that down here. This beautiful patchwork stamp. And we went off on a bit of a tangent. We stamped it, we coloured it in with alcohol markers, and then I brought it in with some mists and I misted over the top of it. And I don't know, but I have a sense that at home you probably thought, what on earth is he up to? That looks a bit mad. I don't know what he's going to do with that. And I went, oh, I can't wait to go and play with that. I know what I'm going to do with it, and I'll share with you when I've done what I'm going to do with it when it's created. This was what I had in mind. I went a bit die cut bonkers with the old die set, cut out all of my flowers from this set, and then I turned them into this card here. Now, this might look better in a photograph than being shown on screen. Sometimes they photograph better than being wafted, but we'll give it a bit of a waft in the hope that you can see. But it gives you all of those different textures running throughout those flowers. I've also used another one of the dies we looked at on that evening, on Thursday evening. That was our lovely snow flurry kind of background. I can't remember the official name, by Sue, but this is meant to be snow. But I felt it looked really beautiful matching in with these flowers and kind of building the flowers round in an arc, and then adding in the foliage using coconut white to kind of detract from the busyness of the flowers. This might not be your cup of tea, that's absolutely fine if it isn't, but I really like the look of those flowers and thought it would be nice to share with you how that they would actually look if you was to die cut out of this panel. So Woodware stamp, alcohol markers, mica mists, and then die cut using the Floral Extravaganza die set. Then another one I wanted to share with you was, and you see one of these today, I'm being naughty now, I'm going further than I should. This is the card we posted today with this die set, showing you these beautiful flowers. Now I wanted to show you how to make these flowers just quickly, and I know we're well over time, but if you want to know more about these, I just thought I'd do a very quick demo of one flower. I like this card, it's all right, I'm happy with it, but, and here I am, how many can I share with you? Okay, we're not going to share them ones with you. Think about doing this technique in other colours. So this is our white and aquamarine. I'll share that one with you maybe. And then this is the one that I went ooh. And I don't often ooh at anything I make. I'm not very confident in what I do. I know that possibly sounds a bit random, but I really like this. I thought this was really pretty. And I've done the same with the butterflies. We're going to show you how to do with the flower, which is probably common sense, but I thought it was kind of nice to share with you. And again, you're seeing that background that Sue bought out for Christmas being used again for something completely non-Christmassy and actually just very floral and very pretty. So it's all about the flower. So let's bring in some components to share with you. So these flowers, like a lot of Sue's flowers, which is something I absolutely adore. I haven't really done sets like this, but I need to do some. She does this really cool, really ingenious idea. She gives you the outside edge as a separate edge, and then she gives you the cutting of the flower. So you can use them independently, you can use them together. I'm going to talk to you about this. I'm doing it again, I shouldn't be doing this. If you wish to, you could use just this part to cut in and make up a background. So just the inserts, not the outsides. If we use just the outsides, we can use those to make that lovely floral card, which I've put down and lost. So that's these bits. But if we wish, we can nest those two together, we can cut that out, and we're going to end up with that effect. If we then take this outside edge, which is what we're going to be doing with it, and we take a self-adhesive sheet and we stick our self-adhesive sheet onto a piece of card like I have here, and then we cut out our flowers from this part as a solid. We then can remove the top film, and I'm sure you've seen this kind of thing done before, but it was just me, I thought it was kind of impressive. And if you haven't, it's nice for you to see it. We remove the film, we match up the flower so that we're as good as we can get. Give that a little squidge down. If you've got some of that film, or if you haven't lost it, you can bring that back in and push that down to make sure that we're in place. And then we can bring in our glitters. And we're going to go for, and it doesn't have to be glitter actually. I stuck to glitter, but I could have gone off and done this with something else, couldn't we? We could have, in theory, done this with gilding flakes as well, which would have been nice. And then all I'm going to do is tip, just going round the edges of each of the petals. Now, you've probably seen this done a million times and it's me being daft, but I thought this looked really pretty. I'm going to tap that off and we're going to pass this colour over to Pete to put back into the pot. That was aquamarine. And then we're going to go in for our next colour. So what have we got here? We've got black. We've got black. Oh, we've got white. We'll go for white. So then all we're going to do is bring in our diamond white. And we're going to add some diamond white into that middle. Then we'll give that a little tap off. And then we have our beautifully glittered two-tone flowers. Now, how spectacular do they look? All just working on top of that self-adhesive sheet to give us the body to hold that glitter in place. Don't they look lovely? I really like them, and I think it's because you've got such open work on the petals that that's quite easy to do and easy to make that two-tone effect. And that's all I did with all of mine, and then just shaped them and built them up and repeated a very similar process for our butterfly as well. So if you're looking at those flowers, whether it's in this kind of wafting now or whether it's in the pictures that are going to appear on the Facebook page every day at 4 o'clock, that's how you're going to create that two-tone effect if you didn't already guess or didn't already know. Probably very common sensey, but I just thought it was fun to share with you. So that's how I've done them, whether they're the pink or whether they're the aquamarine and white. But there's a whole host of colours and ways that we could go off and do these and create some really cool effects with them, couldn't we? I'm hoping that's a nice little way to end the evening's demos. So should we leave them all in peace now, Peter? I feel I've told them everything I need to tell them. I think, maybe. Oh, I haven't told you new homework, have I? So this week's homework, just quickly, there is an event for this on the group. So if you haven't already seen it, you can go find it under events. This week is #pink. Your project must include pink and it must include a musical item. It can either be completely themed to music, or maybe it's going to use a music stamp in the background, or maybe you're going to have a saxophone on it, or something musical needs to feature within your project, and it must have pink on it. Your entries have to be in by 5 PM on 13th of October, which is next Monday. Don't forget to use #pink on the project so that we know that you're entering it into the competition. We would genuinely love for you to enter. If you're sat on the fence wondering if you should or you shouldn't, please come and join in. Being honest with you, last week's didn't have many entries, and if we don't have many entries, at some point we're going to have to go, this is silly, it's not worth doing, and kind of take it away and do something else instead maybe. And I don't want to do that because I think it's really good fun and really interesting, and I personally really love to see the entries that you create. So if we can we all collectively try and support it and get the numbers up a little bit? It would mean the world to us if you did, just because it's genuinely a bit of harmless fun and a great way to see what you're all up to. So don't forget, pop over to the group, Creative Expressions Official Group, look under the events tab, see what's coming up, and then take part in whichever week you wish to enter in. You don't have to, no pressure, but we'd love you to do it if you'd like to. And don't be shy, it's a lovely group. So any questions or problems, let us know, but we'd love to see you take part. Okay, Peter, it's your moment of importance, your independent adjudicator time. Who's winning the magazine this evening? What's going on with the board?
I'm trying to work out when the oh hello.
What's going on with the
Trying to
board?
work out when he's pressing that button. This is how big it needs to be to stick your stars on it.
Is it? Oh, you're the only one who's collected stars this evening. I didn't get any stars.
Not
I've
so
been
sure about
very
that.
well behaved.
Anyway, thank you all for joining us tonight. Congratulations. I'm going to have a little look, get a bit forgetful in my illness stage.
I've listened to it.
In my Darth Vader situation. Thank you all for taking part. The winner this evening is... Every time it makes me laugh. May Foster. So congratulations, May. And May said the Scots... I'm so forgetful, sorry. The Scots magazine, apparently, a little bit of research, apparently it's rumoured to be the oldest magazine still in publication.
Oh?
Started publicising it 1759,
Publishing?
I think. That's the one. My dinner.
What year, sorry? 1959?
1759.
1759? Wow!
So yeah, if you'd like to drop us an email, please, May, to jamierogerscrafts@hotmail.com, and let us know if you want your It's already signed, it's not cards, it's the magazine this time.
You don't want a bundle deal on the back issues of that magazine, do you?
No.
Could you imagine the lorry that'd have to pull up with them in here?
Can you imagine? So yes, pop us your details on an email would be lovely. jamierogerscrafts@hotmail.com.
Even if it was a one issue a year, that'd be quite a few issues to deliver, wouldn't it? Wouldn't get that for a £5 P&P anywhere, would you? Ridiculous. How lovely that it's been going that long. Okay, shall we leave you in peace for this evening? Please don't forget that we are on Hobby Maker this Friday, so it'd be lovely for you to come and join us. We'll give you more inspiration with the brand new collection. It will be exclusive to Hobby Maker on Friday, so don't forget, it's literally the only place you can track it down if you'd like to save your time looking. It will be exclusive to them. The show times are 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. On Saturday, Gwen will be at the Art of Craft in Aldershot. If you haven't already thought about going along, it would be lovely to see you go and support Gwen. Say hello, get a bit of inspiration. It's a free demo day, don't pay a penny to go. You can stay for 5 minutes or you can stay all day. Jane and the team are absolutely lovely, aren't they? They really are a great team there. The Art of Craft, as you probably know already, is kind of the home of John next door, so you know that you're going to go be visiting a stockist that knows what they're up to and what they're doing and how it's all going to run. So I think you're in for a really, really good day. We, of course, actually, we haven't even mentioned this, but we've got a bit of a cheeky special offer going on, haven't we?
We have.
Mini Expressions is all I'm going to say.
Maybe
Very good
something
offer.
else as well.
There is something else, but Mini Expressions. Come on, Mini Expressions. That's worth going just for the Mini Expressions. So yeah, great day. Go and enjoy it. Go see Gwen. Have a cup of tea. Have a chat. Get inspired. Spend a little while with Gwen and say hello to the lovely team at the Art Craft this Saturday coming, which is the 11th of October at Aldershot. More details about that event can be found on the event section of the Creative Expressions page. But if you'd like to know more and you can't find it, drop us a comment and we'll pop in a link for you. Don't forget, Gwen will be here Thursday evening at 7 p.m. when she will be looking at her brand new bundle bargain. There may also be a little bit more inspiration shared with the brand new release as well, because she has got a few cards with her ready for Saturday. So she might give you a little flash if she has time. No guarantees. Then I will be back next Monday at 7 p.m. for our kind of eve before stockist launch day, and again we'll have a bit more inspiration with this collection and show you a few more bits and pieces with it as well, I'm sure. If you have any questions in the meantime, don't hesitate to pop them in the comments and we'll do our best to answer them for you. Thank you all very much for joining us this evening. It's been an absolute joy to be with you, so thank you for giving us your time and joining us for a little bit of a laugh and a giggle. Good night from me.
And good night from me. Take care.
And we will see you on Friday. Bye all.
Bye.